Hey everybody, it's Max. I'm here with my mom.
Hello.
And today we're going to be playing the Stanley Parable. This was suggested by somebody in my Discord, and I thought it was a really good idea. If you want to suggest ideas like this, you can just leave a comment or go in the Discord, and the link to that is in the description. All right, Mom, let's get going.
All right. It says you are playing.
Yeah. So now you got to click begin the game.
Okay.
We had one little freeze action.
Looks like it's doing
Then
it
we had to
again.
start over. Hopefully it's not doing that again.
Did you try this before? You haven't?
No.
You've never played it?
Mm-mm.
So how do you know how to play it?
Because I've seen videos about it. The heck?
And there's a problem.
Nope, there we go.
Huh?
It's going.
Finally. Maybe. Come on.
Come on.
Wow.
I know.
Oh.
It's trying.
Okay. Click to skip.
This is the story of a man named
Can you turn it up? Make it a little louder.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I like the voice.
Yeah, it's a good voice.
And
I'm
then
going to
one
turn up the
day,
volume.
something
A little
very
bit more.
peculiar happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
Something that would forever change Stanley.
in a second.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
Like everyone was dead. So you're making the... Okay.
We'll just do that.
All right. See what happens?
Yeah. Okay, so you're in control.
Okay.
And you got to use the WASD to walk around.
So what am I doing? They just said he left his office.
Okay, so you're going to leave the office?
Why do I have to?
Because the guy told you to.
Oh, he told me to. Oh,
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
did I
What
close
if he
that
had
door?
to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What happened?
I think you...
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, so walk out the door this time.
How?
Use the WASD, remember?
God. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm assuming this is the meeting room. Now it won't let me go forward anymore.
It's because you're hitting the dresser, filing cabinet.
What's backwards? S?
S.
I'm walking like I'm... Where's a meeting room? Am I going in a circle?
I don't know.
Oh. Is this this looks like
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Look how fast I'm going. This really... Ooh!
You're going.
I know. What's the problem here? Huh?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How do you do it? Does that mean I should be going back
What?
the way I came? Or...
I don't know.
Oh, here's stairs, so he said to go
Coming
back.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Do I open the
That
door?
door doesn't open.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like...
There you go.
This is a nice office. Okay. Wait, this is probably the secretary. Wow.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Piano.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
They killed
What he
everyone.
could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2-8 what?
4-5.
So how do I do this?
You have to look at it. You have to look at the numbers and then click.
2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to
They
input the
told us the
correct
code.
code
Yeah,
by
but
sheer
he
luck.
couldn't have known.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Where is it?
You gotta look around.
I guess where that light is.
Yeah.
Oh. What is this? Keep going?
I would.
Oh. Go in there, I guess. Ooh. I just guessed to do that. You didn't tell me to push that button. I just pushed it. So, I know what I'm doing.
You're not part of the machine.
What does that mean?
Like, you're not being told what to do. You're your own lady.
Okay, so I guess this loading thing is just what it's supposed to do,
I
or
think
is there
so.
or is there a problem?
I think
Descending
it's
deeper into the
supposed to.
building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Yeah.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. That's weird. What does this mean? Oh. Ooh, freaky, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like how come it's not telling me anything?
I don't know.
Do I have to keep walking? I think I'm supposed to go out?
Maybe.
Am I in the same place?
Yeah.
That's weird. I went up to that.
I think you're supposed to press it.
Oh, it's a button. Oh. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's a lot of cigarettes.
Yes. I didn't realize this was a... Frick!
What?
I can't get in line with the thing. See? Let's see this here.
You gotta look at the button.
How do I get to it? How do I do that? See what I mean? It's like on an angle.
What's on an angle? There you go. Now look down a little bit.
What does that mean, look down?
Move the camera down. There you go. Press A. Or left click.
Left click. Oh.
There you
The
go.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oop. Another one? Could you walk off of this thing?
I don't think so.
Oh. So another button? Is that what that...
Yeah.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Nobody's in them. See?
Yeah. So where they all go?
Yeah. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to find everyone? Look at that.
Somebody was fired.
Oh. So now what do I do? Keep going?
Yeah, keep going. That's what I would do.
Where? Oh, right there. Okay. Look at that. Is it getting narrower or something? Why can't I? Oh, Jesus. There's another one. Okay. Oh, shoot. How? Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It
Kinda
couldn't
slow,
be
though,
true.
huh?
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was
Well,
this the
tell
only
me what I'm
reason he
supposed
was
to
happy
do.
with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, look. So now there's another place to go. Oh, it's red. Oh, shit.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
What do you think about that?
Well, he said he just sat and worked, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, oh, look at this.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it
working.
monitored and commanded from this very
maybe I'm supposed
place.
to push the
And
green
as the
button?
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Okay, so what do I
For
do?
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I don't know. There could be something over there.
Like a bigger button, you think? Oh, there's like
Maybe.
a power cord here. Oh, right here, I bet. No. Shoot. Will it stop me if I'm... Oh, here we go. Here's something. Right? See this? Well, that's 2. Maybe I want to do 1 first, right?
Okay.
Okay, then go to 2. That's my guess. Gotta get closer. Okay. Is there a 3?
Maybe.
Up there. There's no flashing way up here now. That's 5. Did I see it flashing? I should probably find 3 and 4, right? Wouldn't you think?
I mean, if you want to click them in order.
Okay, I'll try it.
What's in that door?
I'm gonna turn it.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this
Took too long to tell the story, so I just did it.
She just did
I just did it. Now what? Guess I got a little too antsy.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the
That's
machine. Unshackled himself from someone
I'm
else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what
Should I
to
have done
do,
that?
or how
Back
to
up.
feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Oh, look at how pretty.
And that was all he needed to know. It was
Maybe I'm
perhaps
supposed to walk
the
straight
only
out into
thing
that.
worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh, we'll see. Look at that.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before
I'm
him.
not even doing this.
This
I'm not
was
touching
exactly
it.
the
Right.
way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So what did you think about that?
Is that it? Is that the
Maybe.
whole game?
You beat the game.
It says achievement unlocked.
Beat
But
the game.
I thought you said this game lasts forever.
No.
So is that it?
No.
That's the whole game.
So now let's try it again.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, maybe think for yourself.
What do you... Okay.
So like, don't follow what the narrator says.
So you're telling me that this whole game is just this?
Yeah,
that there's
pretty much.
nothing else to it?
Pretty much, yeah.
So if you go by the how much did you pay for this? Honestly.
Here, try it. Just try it. So where are we going?
Out? We can't go.
Because you're stuck on the door again. There you go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So maybe don't go to the meeting room? Or you could still go to the meeting room.
Yeah, I know. But there's only one door open, right?
It looks like it.
No. Okay, am I going back to my own?
No, you're going forward.
I mean, it's a fine game, but it's really fast. I mean, I just can't believe there's not more to do. No, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm serious. I don't get it. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Oh, is this a different room? Different hallway I went through?
When Stanley came to a
Wait,
set
wait,
of
wait.
two
Back
open
up.
doors, he entered the door on his
If I
left.
enter the left door?
You're pressing X, not S.
Hmm.
Oh, you just went through it.
What door?
The left door.
I can't get out now?
No.
Okay. Are you telling me there'd be something different if I went the other way?
Maybe.
Oh, you don't know.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
See, the door
Feeling a
closed.
wave of disbelief,
Behind
Stanley
you.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he
Try
might
going
find
down.
an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You can't. Well, I mean, there's no other open doors, right? Oh, see what's down here.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically
Yeah,
behind him
why do
wherever
they?
he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
They were,
Were they
thought them.
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Get a Coke.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, this is weird.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
What's that car there for?
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Is this trying to put us to sleep?
I am
You know?
okay.
Yeah.
Car's still there.
Uh-oh.
So,
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
do you know this? Did you know I was going to do this?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Found him dead.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments,
that the guy?
she considered the strange man.
Maybe.
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Do you think it is?
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in
That's what I
that
would
moment,
think.
she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important
anything.
people
I can't
whose
make it
impressions of her would affect
it's a
her
cutscene.
career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She didn't have time. She's like, screw it. Leave him there.
Leave him there.
He's dead, so who
He's
cares?
dead, so yeah, exactly.
Oh, crap.
All right, so this time let's try to go through the right door.
Is that it? Because I died? Is that it?
What do you mean?
When he was found, is that the end of the game then, again? Was that the end of the game?
Yes, we start over again.
Okay.
So this time let's go through the right door.
Stanley knew the
Just
office
to try
layout
things.
like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of
Yeah,
time.
I'm so good at this. Okay, this time I'll go through the right door once I...
Yeah.
Okay.
So go through the right door.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Didn't I come this way before?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
what's this? What if I go there? Will I die? On this? Wait, did I go far?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact
So
is
he's
that the
talking-
story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
His wife?
Sounds like it.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly...
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Just the wife.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh, that's creepy.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
God, he's
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Jesus Christ. This is it. Good morning, employee. Press N. So now am I finally doing this?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought
I can't get out of this
excited
room.
him terribly.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, that's blocked, right?
Yeah.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world,
What if I push the
he
wrong
began to
button?
fill it with many possible paths
that
and
next time.
destinations.
I mean, maybe
Down
that's
one
part of the
path
deal.
lay an
It's like
enormous
getting me to
round
do
room
things just
with
because it
monitors
says
and
to do
mind
it.
controls.
What if I stop doing
And
it?
down another was a yellow line that
try.
weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It
don't
was
have a
such a
choice.
wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to
can't get
kill
out.
himself? How can I get him to see what I see?
Oh, now
How
you're in
can
my
I make him
office.
look at himself?
It changed.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to.
See?
But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Oh my God.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
This is like really weird.
Yeah?
I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling it?
No, it's what do you think? Would you play this game anymore? I mean, who created this game? Is it the challenge of keep going back? Like, look, it's there again.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to keep doing it?
Well, there's a lot of choices you could make along the way.
But I don't... Okay, let me just see.
Okay.
What would be a choice here?
Already this was uncomfortable.
Like
and
this?
Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Like right here. What if I want to stay right here? Oh, look at that. Why'd it go away?
Because you turned it off. You can't turn it back on. Try turning off that one too.
Jeez Louise. Well, that says something different than the other ones. See?
Input received.
I can't turn it on.
Yeah.
You can't open up doors.
Maybe you can. Try it. No, you can't. It doesn't sound like. What's on that white screen?
Over there? Turned it off. That's weird. Is this back? Yeah.
I think that might be forward.
No, because see the numbers get larger, right? Or was I think... I think I was in this room already.
I don't know. Check the computers.
None of them are on. Okay. Well, I can't go any further. Okay. I bet people are getting like sick of this, like motion sickness.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I go on the left again? And then see where I end up. I mean, I know where partially where I'm gonna end up, but oh god, I do this every time.
Yet there was not a single person here
Okay,
either.
let's see what's in here.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
It's just the same thing. You know?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh my god. I'm so bad at this. I'm gonna have carpal tunnel. Okay, let's see what's down here. Oh, what's this door say? Executive bathroom. Oh, does that mean I got it open?
You can look inside.
How?
Look, because you opened it a little bit. So go around and look in the crack.
How do you do that? Look, I opened it more. Oh, now I closed it. because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffers losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay. That's what I mean.
I don't know.
What the boss says goes. If the boss suffers losses, then that's what the boss chose.
It's a poem.
Well, it doesn't mean shit to me. It's kind of dumb. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go over here, see if I can open this door. Look at that. Elevator. Let's try it. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's go.
You gotta press the button in the elevator.
Little elevator music. Maybe the bosses appear. Do you think I'm gonna find people like that? Do you think?
I don't know.
Kind of boring game, huh?
What, you think so?
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't. I want to hear your opinions.
It's too slow, Max. I like a little more activity. I mean, this is just a lot of reading, you know.
Yeah.
I'd like I mean, I can't do the racing game exactly. There's got to be somewhere between this and the racing game. The Kirby game.
So what is that? What does that look like?
Like this, but not so much reading and talking. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know why you always know how to do this. I mean, it should gradually. I should be able to figure it out. I can't figure it out. In a lot of games, you're like, oh, Mom, go over here. It's like, how do you know that? Well, I've Googled it or well, that's not how games. You're supposed to just be able to understand it.
You think so?
Well, yeah. I mean, why would you? I mean, these are not like games you play every day or something. You know, like cards or something. I don't know. It's just weird to me. How long am I going to be on this fucking elevator? Honestly.
I don't know.
Stop already. It just went down. Am I back in the same place? Yeah. Didn't go anywhere. Alright. That first. That was weird, huh?
That was weird.
See if you tell me.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
That's right.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Oh,
so he
there you go. It knows I have anxiety.
Put some calming new age music.
So now, because I went too fast, he's going to make me sit here?
I guess so. It's your punishment.
What's on the papers now that he said that?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Where is it?
What's behind you?
Not where I just came.
In the darkness.
Darkness. I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Okay.
Now we're back to this. Wonder what was going through someone's mind to make this game. And when you say it's an indie game, what does that mean?
It means like there weren't that many people that worked on it, and there's no publisher.
So they publish it themselves?
Stanley walked
Yeah.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
you see that?
Control Facility.
Escape. Okay.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Because it's just a hole to step into. Should I do it? Oh. Okay, let's see if I died. If I'm back at the bottom and that gal shows up, then let's see. I'm dead.
Look up.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Is that me? Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I think you have control again.
Well then, Stanley. So it's starting over again? This is weird. I can't go around there. That's it, Max. It's this.
Can I see it?
Sure.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his
forget it.
office,
This
as
killed me.
alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Well, so far nothing, because I don't...
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the
That's
same.
weird.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead
Yes.
from the moment he hit start?
I do. His life is kind of shit. So it doesn't matter. Is that what the point of this is? Is the Stanley parable just that this is it?
Maybe.
It's kind of depressing.
Let's walk over here.
Man, you're hanging in there better than I am. I'm done.
These are the credits. You want to know who wrote this game?
Jesus. Oh, written and designed by Davey Redden and William Pugh. Well, they need to work on some because this one is not. I mean, I don't know if I'm grading it right, but it's not fun. I mean,
You didn't think this was fun?
not really, because like the story was.
Stanley stood on the roof.
I don't know. The only thing was the narrator's voice was really good. I mean, the story, he was fun. I mean, it was kind of funny what they were saying.
Uh-huh.
But, I'd give it about a 4. But I don't want to play it again. I'm kind of glad I died. What is this? Just like showing you how stuff goes? Is that what that is?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another.
Pity.
How they both wish to be free.
Click on it.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Squish him like a bug. I'm okay with that. All right. Find me another game sometime. I'll play another one with you.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, it wasn't like as silly as...
No, it's not supposed to be silly.
Well, it's kind of depressing.
What do you think the meaning is?
Pressing buttons? What do you think it is?
I think it's I think the meaning is that the guy
Stanley?
the people that made the game probably worked in a job like Stanley's job. And then they just kept doing it over and over and over. And then the only way to stop is to just get out.
And die.
Well, I don't think die. I think they went on and made their own game.
Oh, okay.
And they made the Stanley Parable.
So they're sending a... Okay. That's better.
That's the way I interpret it.
That's better.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and all that stuff. And suggest another game for my mom to play. I'll see you guys later.